chifita chamuka chamisa ndewedu kalira chifita chamuka vanhu yenyu yamunodai vari kuva kuriti vanhu yenyu yamunodai vari kuva zvicherwa vana baba vamunoona vari kuva kuriti vana baba vamunoona vari kuva kuriti roteranero usarove vanhu tinoda mabasa tinoda punduso tinoda punduso usatengesa nyika zvipatara zvishande usatengesa nyika migwagwa igadzirwe roteranero zvikoro zvishande roteranero rotera chamisa
Chamisalo, abamasiyo, abazange bambo. Chamisalo, abamasiyo, abazange bambo. Chamisalo, abamasiyo, abazange bambo.
abazange bambo
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 Abazange bambo na.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Zimbabweans. Thank you so much for joining us. We are live here on Change Radio. We are also live on ZimI YouTube, ZimI Facebook. And yes, it's your favorite program, PADARE NAMAMBO SVOSVE. Nyika Inoputswa Nevene Vayo, episode 4. And we are analyzing, talking about the Al Jazeera documentary, episode 4. As well. I think we have all gotten a chance to see it, to watch it, and I know most of you are boiling with anger. I am simmering, I am boiling with anger. If you are not angry, if you are not angered by what we saw today in Al Jazeera 4, then I don't know what will make you angry. But our job here is also very simple. We want to make you more angry than you were, because what was revealed today, because there are those people that were saying Emmerson Mnangagwa is not even mentioned in the previous documentaries. In episode 4, he was all over. It was all about Emmerson Mnangagwa, his wife, and his children. There is a lot that we're going to share with you today from the land that Emmerson Mnangagwa has in Victoria Falls that he wants to sell to the gold smugglers, and also the land in Mutare, Manicaland, and other areas where Emmerson Mnangagwa is dishing out land, parceling out land like conflict on a wedding. And this is a man who was saying, Nyika kuvarungu. But he is busy doing that. He is busy giving back land to the whites, while Zimbabweans who want land, Zimbabweans who have resources to utilize the land still do not have land. So really, if you're not angry, then you should start getting angry right now, because there's a lot about Emmerson Mnangagwa in this documentary. Barbara, you can meet the viewers and listeners here. Now you are dressed like a chief. Eh? We should be changing. I should be wearing that.
Yes, today I'm a chief. Lingabe lavuka njani latshona njani mthwakazi omuhle emagumbini amani wonke omhlaba. Yebo sesiphendukele njalo uhlelo lwenu PADARE NAMAMBO SVOSVE edale le nduna yako SVOSVE. Namhla ngiyinduna sibili kuthiwa nguchief, namhla ngiyinduna, yebo ngiyinduna. Yeah, namhla siphenduke lokho sibuya lama programs esilitshengiswa ukuthi izanu i-corrupt okunganani. Silandela ama-documentaries la akhitshwa i-Al Jazeera okuthiwa ngayo i-Gold Mafia. Sibone izolo kukhitshwe i-last episode number 4. I-episode number 4 kuthiwa abanengi ku-1 2 3 abantu babesithi khona umnankagwa kakho kukamenjenwanga kuma-documentary lawo, kodwa ku-number 4 episode 4 hawu ukhona sibili umnankagwa, umkakhe, abantwana bakhe. Sesikwazi kathesi ukuthi intshantshu kumbe ingcwele kumbe inkosi yama-Gold Mafia ngubani. Ingcwele kumbe intshantshu ye-Gold Mafia chief ngu-Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, ubaba lwana lisela lokucina, isela. And kathesi usethengise umhlabathi ebantwini be-Belarus. Yokwazi omunye bezama ukujustify chief kuthiwa hanzi Belarus vanhu vatema. Ndathi imikayi Belarus is in Europe. Inogweta vanhu vatema seiperi mu-Europe. They're trying to justify, they're trying this varakashi, they are trying by all means, but it will come a time, chief, where they will fail to defend these thieves. Tikuenda nawo chief, loko sisahamba phambili labo amasela la ubugwelegwele obezanu. Kodwa nxa singakhangela chief sibona ukuthi khona indaba ekhona. Omunye ubesithi khona izanu PF nyamasela, but mina ngithi hayi, izanu PF asoyamasela. Amasela ngabantu abalihlekanyana abalutshwana abatshontsha umnotho welizwe. Abanengi abezanu PF bayadubeka, they are suffering. Majority of ZANU PF supporters, they are suffering just like us, chief. So we must not bungle these thieves. Bakhona abangasomasela, so bamele babekwazi ukuthi khona abakhokheli babo bangamasela. Bamele babekwazi ukuthi iZimbabwe kayidubeke ngenxa yama-sanctions. iZimbabwe iyadubeka ngenxa yabakhokheli abangamasela, amakhokheli abafuna ukunotha bodwa. u-ED lemuli yakhe, izihlobo zakhe oHenrietta, oHubert Angel, abafundisi bamanga, uyazi kuyi-click opastor ojava bayi-click, yazi okuyi-small hlekanyana, ama-elitist okuthiwa anze parasitic elites. They are milking us, chief. Warikuti shredder Zimbabwe ichasara isisina kana ropa. Zimbabwe ichasara isina kana ropa. To research state Zimbabwe, it will be problematic. So we have to act now. Kumele sibone ukuthi siyayenza something kathesi. Kumele sibone ukuthi amasela lawo siyawamisa ukuthi bayenza lokho abakwenza. Kathesi sibona i-gold, chief, but kulamanye ama-minerals phela esilawo, kulama-diamonds, kule-lithium, kule-copper, sile-coal. Uyazi silezinto eziningi eZimbabwe, but kungaphi kuyanga. Ama-sanctions akhona la aphi? Bona bethatha i-gold behambisa kubo Dubai, bephenduka le mali, bebuya beflasha futhi imali yangikhona, bebuya besimbuluzele, besibuza ukuthi wena ulani, besibuza ukuthi uzakwenzani. Yazi ungabona ilizwe lisiba lo minister olibuza ukuthi after benze i-corruption engaka belibuza ukuthi manje lizakwenzani. So lina abantu beZimbabwe lizakwenzani njengoba sebelibuzile ukuthi manje lizakwenzani? Sibuza umbuzo onjalo ngabantu abangenayo ehofisini ngenxa yamavoti abantu, lanxa batshontsha amavoti, kodwa bakhona abalutshwana ababavoti bebavotela becabanga ukuthi bavotela abakhokheli abaqotho. Remember chief, ku-2017 they were targeting criminals around Robert Mugabe, and eventually it has turned out to be they are the criminals. Those are the criminals. Now, it's no longer the criminals surrounding Mnangagwa, is the criminals that are in a circle. Vakatogara vari kudziya moto wese vakakomba sochoto vakagara vari kudziya moto vachiba upfumi hweZimbabwe.
Yeah, Varikuba, and to the extent that Emmerson Mnangagwa is now the richest man in Zimbabwe and one of the few multi-billionaires in Africa. How rich do you think Emmerson Mnangagwa is? Is he worth 2 billion? Is he worth 3 billion? Definitely no. Is he worth 5 billion? Definitely no. Emmerson Mnangagwa, according to analysts, is now worth more than $10 billion. Of course, he cannot fail to have $10 billion. These people are stealing $100 million a week. $100 million a week, which turns out to $400 million a month. If you go by a year, it's over $4 billion that is being taken away from Zimbabwe, from Zimbabwe's coffers. That money could be building you roads, Zimbabweans. It could be building you hospitals, clinics. It could be putting medication. It's enough to, come up with the state-of-the-art infrastructure. Those are spaghetti roads that people say, oh, they cannot be built. We don't have the money. We have the money. It's enough. The money that is being taken away from the Zimbabwe's economy by ED and his fellow smugglers, it's enough to make Zimbabwe one of the richest countries in the world, one of the first world countries. But that money is not coming back to Zimbabwe. The Al Jazeera documentary that we watched today and that we've been watching in the past 3 weeks has been very clear. It showed us that gold is being mined and bought from Zimbabwe and taken to Dubai. And instead of the money coming back into the country, those people, they will write at the Harare International Airport that they have brought $100 million when they've only brought $100,000 back. And that $100,000 is not going into the coffers of the Reserve Bank or Fidelity or anywhere in government coffers. It's going to go and buy more gold for the looters. So really, there is nothing that is coming to you as the people of Zimbabwe, the legitimate owners of the wealth of Zimbabwe. You are getting nothing. You are getting zero. Today in this program, we are going to debunk what ZANU-PF has been saying, that they are stealing so that they are doing what they are doing, smuggling gold, so that they can get around the issue of sanctions. Emmerson Mnangagwa himself, I think, Leo, if you look on the group, you'll see a video where Emmerson Mnangagwa was telling people that tikakunzwa uchitaura nenyaya yema-sanctions tiri mu-meeting tinokudzinga because we don't have sanctions. Mangudya did the same thing again, and he said the sanctions that are there do not stop us from importing and exporting. So they've admitted on a number of occasions that sanctions are not the issue. And we are also telling you here that it is corruption. It is not sanctions. So that one, don't listen to them when they say it. And number two issue that we want to debunk here is the explanation being given by Barakashi that when the money comes back, it's being used to develop the country. That's the one that is being used to pay civil servants, blah, 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 blah. Nonsense. There is nothing like that. The money that is coming from gold sales, as you are seeing, it goes out as gold, and it's sold in Dubai. The money is banked in Emmerson Mnangagwa's banks right there in Dubai. It's not banked in Zimbabwe. Even though he's stealing it, it's his money. It's not being banked in Zimbabwe. It is transferred into his Dubai accounts. What comes back is just a few $1 million that do not go to the Reserve Bank. That is never deposited in any bank in Zimbabwe. The money is taken again to the gold panels. and they start buying gold with that money. They even take more money from other activities, other illegal activities that they do, like cigarette making, cigarette selling. Then they take that money, instead of putting it again in the Zimbabwean economy so that it continues to circulate in the Zimbabwean economy. It gets in the Zimbabwean banks so that the Zimbabwean banks have foreign currency. They don't do all that. They go to the gold panels and they give them cash. They are operating on a cash business. There is nothing that goes into our monetary system. Vari kuita Zimbabwe se tax shop yekuti you just exchange cash and that is it. So anyone who wants foreign currency, you won't get it because it's just coming in and going out. So musanyeperwe vana veZimbabwe kuti mari iyoyo iri kudzoka ichishanda muZimbabwe. Haisi kushanda muZimbabwe. So all these billions that we are talking about, they end up in the hands of people in Dubai, a few individuals, a few crooks in Dubai that end up taking the money, and maybe some of it ends up being used to develop Dubai. The buildings that you see in Dubai, they are being built by your money. And then half the money, I suspect 50% of the money goes into Emerson Mnangagwa, his children, his associates' account in Dubai or somewhere outside Zimbabwe. And then just a trickle, 20% or so, comes back to Zimbabwe, but it's not put in the economy. It's just money that is going, that is used to restart the cycle, and they buy more gold. And when they buy, they're not even buying at rates that are on the world market. They are actually underpaying our gold panels. That's why those people are not getting rich. That is why we're in Berengwa, in Midlands, wherever there's gold, there's no development that is taking place. They can't even build nice homes. They can't even develop their areas. They can't even sustain themselves. There's no change in the livelihoods of the people that are mining gold or that are panning gold, because they are being underpaid by these crooks. So there's nothing, folks, that is being that is helping Zimbabwe or Zimbabweans. So I don't know if Michael is here. Are you now here? Because we don't want to get angry alone. We want other people to come here and express their anger so that we all get angry. But at the end of the day, before the end of the program, we also talk about action points. We also talk about what we need to do as Zimbabweans, because we don't want to just get angry. Michael, how angry are you?
Well, I'm very angry. I haven't watched the last one because I was a little busy, but I've got tonight to watch it. But I'm very angry because like everything that you are saying is so true. And what makes me angry the most is that all of us are being cheated. I do not understand anyone who supports ZANU. All these people that support ZANU, and are behind the president, and they come with all this propaganda, Yet the day you go to Parenyatwa and there's no syringe, there's no anesthetic, you are the one who's suffering, And we saw, recently we saw the picture of, is it Mudede, was circulating how skinny he looks, how sick he looks now. At some point, he was one of those people, supporting the government. In the government, he was one of the government people. But now when his time is up, they've used him, they've managed to get rich. They are the ones who put money into their pockets. But look at him now. Look at him now. And that's the same fate that is facing all these people that support ZANU. And most of them, the unfortunate thing is that most of them have the same ideal, that they have the same dream that someday they'll get to a position somewhere at the top and be in a position to milk the country and milk the people. I don't understand that mentality of people who don't feel bad. You don't feel anything about milking your own people, milking your own country for your own benefit. And then at the end, you don't even succeed because the Mnangagwas, they won't let you succeed. The Mugabes, they don't share that with you, And all the people in the country are asking for is for a little comfort. Now all of us are saying, the white man was better. The white man, he ate and then he gave you something, So we now appreciate the white man instead of us appreciating the people that fought for us. And they are not even the same people. My comrades are crying right now because those people who are stealing were not even in the war. They were not even war veterans. They were somewhere overseas in Russia learning how to be thieves. And when they come back, they kill all the people who fought in the war and take away their dreams. And then they take away everything from all of us. So all of us really should be angry. The people who are saying we are ZANU, you should be angry because you are not benefiting. Some time back, I put some very truthful things online. It sounded rude to a lot of people. I'm even scared to repeat it now because a lot of people were angry with me. But what I put out there was that if you are supporting ZANU right now and you are behind this government, you are just eating what they put in the toilet. I won't be, to the point as I was in my, but you all understand what I mean. You are just being fed by what is coming out after they have eaten. So that's what you are getting. Even if you are getting bribes, you are getting a little land, you are getting this. But imagine my mom is from Marange. Chief Marange was crying at some point, saying, so if a man like Chief Marange is telling you, Kuti, you are not even putting a single penny back into Marange, yet they have surrounded the diamond fields, and the diamond fields are going just to benefit the Mnangagwa family. And we see it's the same with the gold. And why is it that we have the Hubert angels and all of these other prophets coming to support that system? You know why? Because they are making the money from our tithes, from everything. And even that Indian guy came from Kenya. And his strategy, it's a strategy. Start a church. That's how you make money. That's how you can hide your money. It's a strategy, business strategy for them. It's not religion at all for all of them. And they are taking this money. And the reason why they are aligning themselves with the Mnangagwa family is because they are also wanting to hide that money. So the money we pay in tithes when we come to these fake churches of theirs, it goes to be hidden in that gold smuggling wrangle. So we have to understand there's no God in it for those who are still supporting them. There is no God in it. And why I am passionate, because I love the Bible so much. I was reading after Easter. It's such a good thing to have Easter celebration. But after Easter, what comes? I would love for all of you to read Acts. So Easter was the time, if we equate it to Zimbabwe, where we are saying to the honorable people, crucify them. The Sikalas, we are saying put them in jail. If you are supporting what ZANU is doing, you are saying put Sikala in jail, put Sikala in jail. And then who is Fred? None of these smugglers have been put in jail yet. It's 4 weeks later. None of them have been put in jail yet. But we say put Sikala has no crime. All he did was to fight for a good person who was killed innocently by one of them. So you can see when we put placards on Facebook and say that we are exactly the same. We are saying crucify Jesus. We are the ones who are saying in Zimbabwe, crucify Sikala right now. And when we go to Acts, we move from Easter, Jesus is now dead. We now move into Acts in our Bible. I would like for all of you to read Acts Chapter 4 is where the disciples now, they find a man who is begging for silver and gold, a crippled man. Like us Zimbabweans, we are so taken advantage of. We have been reduced to beggars in our own country. We are begging for gold. We are begging for silver. All of us, ZANU people, CCC people, non-affiliated people, all of us, no electricity, no water, no nothing, no syringe in the hospital. They take the gold and they don't even leave a syringe in the hospital. No anesthetic when we go to these. In the hospitals, they don't even look like hospitals. They look like Matapi Kudara. Matapiacho in Bari are looking so, my goodness, it's so sickening. So that's all of us now asking for our own gold and silver, begging for it. We are found by Peter and James. Who is Peter and John for us today? It is anyone who is willing, who is hurt by these things, anyone who's willing to fight. That is where our problem is. Our problem is we don't have boldness. We have lost faith. Like Peter when he denied Jesus. We have lost faith in Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe, I remember being born in the 70s. Beautiful Zimbabwe. Milkmen come to the door. Breadmen come to the door. I lived in Bari. In the morning, it was hustle and bustle. Industries over there in Bari. People rushing to work. People happy. You know, people were really happy, even though we were segregated, but we were happy. Our country, there was the snowman. I was young. I would find every evening, find my big cup. And when we hear the snowman passing by, the ice cream man, we rush to the street. They didn't care what size of cup. If you brought a big cup, you got more ice cream. You got a small cup, you got little ice cream. Me and my brother fighting for a cup. Nowadays, there is nothing for our children to fight for, nothing for our children. So we now find John and Peter. They are now bold after the death of Jesus. After this gold mafia, we should find boldness, you know, and boldness, once we just show a little boldness, God comes to put the Holy Spirit. Moses' mother was brave enough to say, my son is not going to die. And that brought Moses, the leader, to take the children out of Israel. So that's what is missing among all of us. Let's all stand and be bold. Let's find that boldness. And once we find it, we say this gold mafia will be the last thing that they do for us. And it's for the whole of Africa. It has the same problem. We call Zambia next door. We call everybody. And then the other evil that is going on in the world is the people who are benefiting from our gold. Where are they? We also need to expose them. If it's the West, we need to say, you are buying our gold. You need to stop. If it's Dubai, we say, you are enriching yourself on our gold. You need to stop. So we have a lot of boldness needed in us to speak these things and to be angry and to say these things. I saw a Zambian minister. He was shouting and screaming about this gold mafia thing. He is from Zambia. He's not even in Zimbabwe. I haven't seen any Zimbabwean shout and scream the same way that man was shouting and screaming. But if we Zimbabweans are so timid, we are in our houses, in our darkness, in our dark houses, no water houses, and we just keep quiet. Yes, we are hungry. We don't even beg for the gold. We don't even beg for the silver. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? We need to find boldness. And did you ever hear that Peter and John took knives and guns and all that? No, they fought and brought Christianity to us through speaking, through being bold, through defying this Mnangagwa. We have to defy this Mnangagwa. We have to defy this Ubet, whatever he calls his lawyers to tell us. We have to defy these people. Come on, Zimbabweans. Come on, Zimbabweans. We can do it from anywhere. Yes, it might mean some of us might die. It might mean some of us might be crippled. That's what they did with the white people when they didn't want white rule. They did exactly the same thing. They defied the white men. They defied colonialism. So what is wrong with us now that we have freedom? Why are we tied up Why are we not even speaking? Why are we not standing together? And let's stand together, ZANU people, CCC people, every Zimbabwean. And I saw the report that came. I'm from Manicaland. The report that came, they are taking Africa University.
Right.
They are
Right.
taking.
Let me hold you there, right there.
Yeah.
Mutoda Stadium, Michael.
Don't do that stadium because
Stadium.
And you know, if we keep quiet, last time we all kept quiet. When you come talk achitorerwa nyika yawo, they were their graves. They cried for their graves. None of us said anything, and they were taken. They were taken. Now they are now in Manicaland. Next they'll be in what? In I don't know, Chiota. And next they'll be in Matebeleland. We all losing, and none of us are saying anything.
All right.
I'm sorry to be going on.
No, that's fine. No, you're still there. You're still there. Kuti muswitche uende mumbotitaurira nechimanyika kuti muri kutsamwa sei ngenyi nezviri kuitwa nevanhu vanamunanga kutorerwa land, because Hot Springs, that's a beautiful place.
Yes,
you're not going to see it anymore. You will not visit Hot Springs. Saka chingouya kutitaurira ichi nechekwenyu.
I don't know whether I can do it, but ndirubvira urwadziwa bambo imwe ndirubvira urwadziwa kubvira urwadziwa kuti tingobvira utorerwa zviro zvedu tidotaritsa kudai pasina kana zvatirumboita kuita unge vanhu vadopa tidopa here waZimbabweans kwakutobva tatorerwa zvese kudaro izvi vamwe vari kuhya isusu hatisi kuhya kwakundozi imimi munondohya makoko basi takabvira uita seiko vanhu vemuZimbabwe kana mapraza acho isusu vemuManicaland tisi tine mabhanana tisi tine tea road yacho yekuenda utii iyoyo haigadzirwi kwese kubhodha timbazuko road yacho mukaona zvayaita vari kundotora miti yedu vari kutora zvese vachindoisa muhomwe mavo takaita seiko vanhu isusu tidoita sei toda kuti Mwari adzike pasi panapa auye uzotirwira here kana kuti ngatishatirwewo zvatakaita panguva yehondo tiite chimurenga chechitatu tibvire kutora zviro zvedu ana chief Marange ana chief Mutasa muripiko vanhu vakarwira nyika yekuZimbabwe iyoyo tikabvira kutora nyika iyoyoyo tikaita yedu mazuva ano tiripi ana chief Mutoko ngatibatane tatiri mabrothers tichibatana teitora nyika yedu ngatishatirwe titore nyika yedu. Mwari Jesu ari kutotaurira wadzidzi wake kuti ndakakuunzirai rusununguko, but Jesu akaita 3 years kwakubva asumuka kwakuenda, asi chaakasiya icho boldness iyoyoyo, courage iyoyoyo, faith iyoyo, but tinozadzwa ngefiye basi fiye basi kundozara ngefiye basi ngemaziza asina kana nyanga. Come on people, imhuri 1 yatikanganisa iyoyo uko kuhwedza uko warundowakirwa road basi kwakuti tine road here kwakundopera ngeroad iyoyo basi, kana chiwenga aenda kwakundosara neroad. Hino tinenge taitei? Come on people, we need to stand up and fight for our lives.
Barbara, your sister is on fire. Vacheli, sis. You're on mute. No, Barbara is frozen.
Barbara is frozen.
Right. Yeah. I think today you represented Manicaland very well. I think everyone from Manicaland is very proud of you because you displayed the anger that is in most people in Manicaland as we are speaking. I spoke to a number of people, and all of them were sitting with anger about that land. I saw some clips on social media about Hot Springs. Can you imagine people just are taking land, good land like that, land that has been, part of us for the longest time, part of the traditions of Manicaland, and you just take it simply because you want gold, you want the riches that are in there, and the riches are never going to come back and help Manicaland and develop Manicaland. You are just taking and taking.
And
Handikuti
taking
apa
and
extend kuti
taking.
mahure chaiwo haasi kubhadharwa.
Mahure asi na chief Marange kutotadza kupeyawo kana mahure emamarange haasi kumbopiwa kana sendi yediamond, you know. But that goes to show that's what's happening to all of us tikazvifunga. And iwo machiefs acho, when they align themselves to ZANU like that, they are really putting us down. When they align themselves to ZANU without thinking, what are we doing? It's the same with Mapostori. These days we see Mapostori aligning them to ZANU. And that means those leadership in Mapostori, they are now influencing the whole generation of theirs to say, you know what, forget the Bible. Forget what the Bible says about looking at the poor people, looking at the people who are in need. We Zimbabweans are people in need. We look at that story, the Good Samaritan. These are the priests running away from us, the hurting people. These are the prophets running away from us, the hurting people. And running kutinda akumbo manyira kuchecha na yubet angel kunopiwa tithes. That's all they are concerned about. But Jesus is saying, let's take a look at the people who are hurting. And if you know, we Zimbabweans are easily satisfied. We are like a wife, very easily satisfied. You know, unlike a wife, unfortunately, when you give us hell, we don't give back hell.
I thought wives are very difficult to satisfy.
That's the part we need to change. If you give a wife hell, if you mistreat a wife, she gives you hell. We Zimbabweans have been stripped. We can't even be like a wife. All these mothers of children in Zimbabwe, we need to give back hell to this government. It's time to stop saying what they say. We take it and take it and take it. We need to stop. We need to find our boldness like Moses' mother and bring up children who are going to learn from our braveness and say tomorrow Zimbabwe is going to be a beautiful country. We can't do it in these countries that we are hiding at because it doesn't really help us. You know, we need to influence our children to stand up for our country. And that's what's happening. Nobody is influencing us. I was on another social media platform where Zimbabweans were asked, let's do business. Let's bring business ideas and help each other with business. Everyone is asking, how do I go to Dubai? How do I go to South Africa? How do I sell Mabero? What about the factories? Who is going to bring the factories? Who is going to create jobs? Each one, we are standing, each one for themselves. How can we fight wars? Each one bringing Mabero Tengesa, each one going to Botswana Tengazino. We have to come together. We have the gold, we have the uranium, we have all these minerals. They need to be factories in our country. But the way we are letting our gold go, that's the income, that's the money that needs to come and create these factories. Mm-hmm. So we need to fight for these things to stay in our country. We need to also understand how systems work. You know, let's start understanding how systems work. And it takes very little when we put minds together. It takes very little to bring up a country like Zimbabwe. You know, it takes very little, but, you know, I could go on and on.
I know you can go on. Barbara, you want to come in now? Are you back? Barbara, are you there? Okay, it looks like Barbara is still having network challenges. So, yeah, we go on. We don't want to get angry here, Maikali. And everyone else are listening. I'm not seeing our comments here, comment section. If you can put up some comments so that we hear what the people are saying. Let's hear what you think about what is going on. Episode 4 was shown today. What do you think about it? How angry are you? And what are you doing to spread the word? What are you doing to spread the word about this? And Mkoma Wangu, that's Tanaka. Thank you so much for joining. Let us know what you're doing to spread the word to other places so that we can, we know what's going on. The idea really is to spread the message so that everyone knows, every Zimbabwean, every voter must know that they are suffering. The country is on its knees, not because of sanctions, but because of mismanagement of our resources and the stealing, the massive looting that is going on. That is why we are where we are. So we want to talk about solutions. We want to talk about what we need to do right now. Michael, I'm going to ask you a question here. There are some people, there's a question that is going on around social media. There are some people that are saying Emmerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF must resign now. And then other people are saying if we let Emmerson Mnangagwa resign, it means ZANU-PF can come in and put in someone else before the elections, and then we have to contest with someone that we don't know. Let's push and keep pushing until we get to elections, and then we remove Emmerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF right there on the elections. What are your thoughts about that? We are now talking about what we need to do going forward.
Well, I think, a lot of times we have fear speaking and we compromise. Okay. So let's say, for example, we have a father in a house and he murders maybe one of his children. And we say, the wife is going to give birth next month. Do we let him wait before going to jail, or do we put him in jail right away? Like right now, if we let him continue to rule, he's making decisions. And let's ask ourselves, if you were in the position of Mnangagwa and you are making these decisions to enrich your wife, if we give you 3-4 months to go, are you going to continue to put money in your pocket, or are you going to suddenly change for the 3 months and become a good leader? So why is it when he commits a crime, we want to cover it up? That is fear speaking. That is fear speaking. Because if I go and commit a crime, the police are not going to wait for me until some event in 3 months' time. They are going to take me away right away. It's like the Hubert angel. He is proving to be a false prophet. So why is he still preaching in his church? Why are we allowing that? But these things, don't we have a constitution in our country? What does it say when such things happen? Don't we have laws in our country? What do they say when such things happen? So when we decide to let him rule for another 3 months, then we might as well say Sikala can stay in jail for 3 months. If it's wrong, if we have proved what they are doing is wrong, then it needs to go. We need to bring braveness into our living. When I was little, we had laws. Even when ZANU first came into power, there was the Sandura Commission and their findings. People were committing suicide from shame. Where is that shame now? But the other thing we also have to weed out of our country, which is what I was also reading in Acts, is, when Peter, Jesus dies, so Peter goes back to go fishing. He says, I'm going back to go fishing. That's what we are doing. If this whole mafia thing dies down and we decide as Zimbabweans to go back fishing, then they might as well continue, mistreating us. But no, Jesus goes to tell Peter, he says, do you love me? So Jesus is asking Zimbabweans, do you love Zimbabweans? After I reveal all this stuff, after I put it out there, the world is crying, the world is ready to support you, the world is ready to stand with you. You can go and say, America and Dubai, why are you doing what you are doing? Don't we have people who can go and represent us as Zimbabweans and say to the minister of Dubai, why are you buying our gold? Why are you doing this? And, we put pressure on those places. But if we wait 3 months, can we go back with the same force and tell Dubai and America to stop supporting these people? Can we do that? So God is with us right now after Easter. This mafia thing is after Easter. It's still fresh. God is telling us, Zimbabweans, go and ask these questions. Zimbabweans, go and be bold. Read your Acts chapter 4, Acts chapter 5. If any Christian comes to me after reading that those two chapters, and you tell me Mnangagwa needs to stay, you tell me Hubert Angel needs to go on that pulpit, you tell me that Indian prophet needs to go to his church and become a prophet, then you must be reading the wrong Bible. We as Zimbabweans, we need to find boldness within ourselves. This boldness, and also we need to find boldness within ourselves to start cleansing our house. Let's stop paying bribes. Let's refuse to pay bribes. Let's refuse to do anything that's wrong, starting from ourselves, our own families. If we want a good Zimbabwe, let's start cleansing our country. But if we, like any ZANU person, we take bribes, we refer each other to each other and take the land, which we can't even farm, but just for the sake of possession, just for the sake of building a whole road to a place where there's no production, there's no jobs creation, just because I come from there and I have the right to do it. What is going to come out of it? What is going to come out of it? So let's really look at things that build our country, and let's stick to the things that build our country. And then we can now say, if things start working right, we can get Sikala out of jail. We can get everyone else who's in jail wrongfully out of jail. But if we let these people stay and continue another 3 months, there's no way we can clean up our house. We need to start sweeping our house. God has given us the chance to sweep our house, and let's take advantage of it.
Powerful, powerful. Zimbabweans, those that were just joining us, we are on our program Nyika Inoputswa Nevene Vayo, kana kuti nyika haivakwe nevakaiputsa, nyika haivakwe nevanoiluta. Those are the new slogans, and we need to continue talking about this. Zimbabweans, let's not let's not do what we always do, that we talk about something for a week, for 2 weeks, and then after that we forget about it, and people start joking about it, making jokes about serious issues. This is not a joking matter. This is something that affects us. This is something that affects our lives. This is something that affects our children and our children's children. And if we don't do something, the danger that I'm seeing here is that Emmerson Mnangagwa is going to get really, really, really powerful, more powerful than ever. You know, when someone has money, when people have money, they have power, and that they can do anything. They can buy anyone. You know, they can we can end up not being able to get them out of power. Tinosiyirwa mwana wake waMnangagwa. Manje so Mnangagwa anotaura kuti ndakusiya, and then we have another Mnangagwa being president, because they are amassing all the resources. Anyone who has the resources has the power. So we need to stop this now. We need to stop Emmerson Mnangagwa. We need to stop ZANU-PF, and we need to get rid of them. Not only Emmerson Mnangagwa, it has to be Emmerson Mnangagwa, nevana vake, nezvana zvake, nembwa dzake, nekatsi dzake. This time they all have to go. And we need to start acting right now. And we should never let up. Kana tatotanga toramba takadaro. I know there are demonstrations that are coming on. If you are here, you are in North America, please plan on being in Washington, D.C. on the 21st of this month. We'll be at the Zimbabwean embassy. And I know in Europe, several countries will be demonstrating in Europe on the 18th of April in UK. They are also demonstrating on the 18th of April. They are going to go to the Dubai embassy and hand in a petition. They'll also go to the South African embassy and hand in a petition. And I know they are also going to the House of Lords. UK Magapenga. UK kana muripo panapa sando dzenyu. You're doing great. Keep doing that, Barbara, and the folks in UK. You know, this is really good. You're acting like the real big brother, leading from the front. So let's all do that. If you're in UK, please do not miss the demonstration on the 18th of April. It's Independence Day, and there's nothing to celebrate on Independence Day. We are not independent. We are not yet Uhuru. There is nothing to celebrate on the 18th, when it's only a few people that are enjoying the independence. The rest of us, we are suffering. Trukunonga, Shoshene Muromo. Saka hapana chekucelebrate. If you're in UK, please make sure you plan on attending those demonstrations. And in Europe, also plan on attending the demonstrations. I know there's another demo in South Africa and another one being planned in Zambia. Let's let the world know that this is what is going on in Zimbabwe. And then, of course, more action on the ground. Let's have flyers, let's have posters. Gadzirai maflyers aende kumusha kwenyu. Kana muchida kuti tibatsirane munongouya kwatiri tobatsirana togadzira maflyers in Shona, in Kalanga, in Ndebele, otenderedzwa kwese kwese, so that the message gets around. Barbara, you disappeared. You're back.
Yeah. I'm back.
You can take over the last 10 minutes if you want.
I'm back, Chief. I'm not feeling well, but you know, when you are anti soldier, no fear mu soldier maro, but at least she helped me a lot. You know, and Farah saying that at least I have someone who is standing in for me. Thank you so much, my sister. You know what, Chief? I was looking at the history of Belarus. What kind of a country is Belarus? Why do the Mnangagwas have a good relationship with this country? Belarus is a country that is just like Zimbabwe. You know, there's no democracy in Belarus. There's no freedom of assembly, no freedom of association, no freedom of association, no freedom of assembly, no freedom of speech. You know, there are no freedoms in Belarus. You know, people that oppose the government are either beaten or they're killed, just like in Zimbabwe. So these guys, Anzi, I know they're mafias. That's the reason why they're given land. The Belarusian chief they're part of the mafias. Belarusians are mafias. I think we have to go also to their embassy. If they've got an embassy in the UK, we need to go to their embassy and demonstrate. They can't get our land, our forefathers' land, when we are actually suffering. We don't have land, but they are given land, our forefathers' land. You know, what kind of a government does that to its country? And you know, Belarusians, the Belarus government is a mafia government. The elections there, they rig elections. No wonder why Auxilia and the boys were there, Chief. Who knows what they're going to do? I know it has got something to do with elections, Chief. Mark my words. Yes, they might be given land. Land for what? In exchange of what? What are they exchanging? Have you ever asked yourself, what are they exchanging? They were given land.
And someone is putting on the comments there that they are getting title deeds. Think about it. How many people wakapiwa land here mahara, even though they were giving it to each other? And isusu sevanu atema tirikungobatwa senge we are very stupid, because for you to have title deeds means you own that land. And someone comes achiri kunyika kwake Belarus yacho iyoyo havasati vatombouya vakupiwa ma-title deeds within one session of talking. They have title deeds. Yet isusu vanhu vangani muZimbabwe vasina ma-title deeds. Musuno there was a video yanga ichiseculator yevamwe baba vakatorerwa imba nevamwe prophet, you know, because vakatengeserwa nemunhu anganzi subdivision yacho haisati yapiwa ma-title deeds, and they, the ruling party, take advantage of those things, you know, because hatipiwe ma-titles. How long mai vangu vane imwe imba yavakatenga some more than 30 years ago, havasati vapiwa ma-title deeds, yet someone knows kuti if I'm going to negotiate in Zimbabwe, I demand title deeds, and they get them within overnight. You know, it's so unfair how we people of Zimbabwe are treated by this government. It's so unfair, you know.
And to make matters worse, the land in the rural areas, they say you get title deeds after 99 years. And of which they know kuti for 99 years munenge mafa. And your children will not even make a follow-up. to get those title deeds. And yet these Belarusians, they are getting title deeds. And I think
Title
it's
deeds.
high time Zimbabweans should act, especially on this land question. You know, the people should act, people should make noise. People should
That's
make
true.
noise.
That's true.
People should not make noise. You know, they cannot just give our land just like that. And yet
Just like
isusu
that.
varidzi vachona. So isusu, where what is our portion as Zimbabweans? What is our portion?
Nothing.
We don't have anything.
Nothing.
You know, we
Nothing.
don't have anything. This is so sad. It's, and you know, we might I think kuti it's in Manicaland. I don't care. You know, they did it in Chiredzi, and we said it's Chilonga people. Chilonga. Imimo ana makatotangisa Chilonga. Now they are in Mutare. They are in your area, and the other people are looking. They will go to Matebeleland. They will go to Mashona and the West. They will go Mashona and the East. Chakangotarisa. So just because iwewe awusati affected, you decide to keep quiet. And yet this land belongs to all of us.
It belongs to
Mnangagwa
all
does
of
not
us.
have the monopoly, does not have the monopoly of Zimbabwe. He is just a president, and he is a default president. He is an illegitimate president. Mnangagwa didn't win elections in 2018. We all know that. And these guys, they are so scared of elections. Now they are looting. You know, they are looting and looting and looting. They don't want elections. And if they are going to have, we are going to have elections, they are going to rig. But this time, what I know is rigging will be very impossible, because people, you know, it's like from 2018, the number that voted Nelson Chamisa, by now it's double or treble. That much I know. And they know, they've done their homework. They've done their polls. They know Mnangagwa is not going to win. So they will try by all means to use the force to be in power, because they are a mafia government. They are a mafia government. They strive in killing. They kill. You know, that's the reason why people are so quiet. You know, I was reading so many tweets to say, and the Zimbabweans, we are like sheep. And a sheep, when it's being killed, it doesn't cry. You know, it just is. Even if when its wool is being taken off its body, it doesn't even cry. It just keeps quiet. So it's like someone was likening us to sheep. Like we are like sheep. You know, we are done all sorts of dirty things, you know, tinorwadziswa, tinoita sei, tinohlukuluzwa, but we keep quiet. Why do we keep quiet? But to be honest, we never used to be like this. Zimbabwe used to be a country of people that used to be vocal. I'm a veteran trade unionist. I can attest this. Even if you go and Google now, we demonstrated all over Zimbabwe. Those were the days when we could get into the streets. The good part of Robert Mugabe is, even if you could go into the street, maybe kurohwa kwachona it was just kungo, but not kuuraiwa zvokuti they use live ammunition like Mnangagwa's police and the army. But tell you what, the police and the army are also suffering. Vari kupfeka bhutsu dzakacheyama, vari kuroja. And I was also reading today to say everyone anemba kuri kuroja musoja kana kuti mupurisa wapei notice waende kunze. They should go and stay in their barracks and their camps. Why must we stay with them when they kill us, when they beat us, and yet they are suffering? You know, these are the actions that we need to do. They should feel the pinch. Even if wasiriwo, they should go and find out kuti ndowanani. These are the actions that we should, you know, whilst in diaspora we are doing something. Kumusha, they are supposed to do something. Why not peaceful? Whatever they do it peacefully. 18 April will be in London. I'll also be there. You know, we will be demonstrating, because here we can demonstrate. No one can beat us. we are free to demonstrate because this is a democratic country. You know, this is what we are fighting for. Kana tichiwavata kudai tichitaura kudai tinonzwa kurwadziwa kuti nyika dzatigere tinokwanisa kuita zvatoda, tokwanisa kupfeka zvatinoda, hapana munhu anotirambidza, anozvona. But in Zimbabwe, you know, wearing something yellow, it's a crime. You know, they are so intimidated by the color yellow. So utoti wamwe wachona they are no longer eat bananas because they fear the color yellow. Wakutotya kudya mafruits, maorange wakutya kudya, malemon wakutya kudya because of the color, you know. So it's so sad, it's so pathetic. ZANU-PF supporters that are not benefiting from this loot. That are not benefiting from this loot. They should stand up. You know, I was watching this video by ZANU-PF youth where they were saying, Kuti, Anzi, isusu we are sick and tired. Now we are being asked, Kuti, Munei, Anzi tukubvunzwa nema supporters CCC, Kuti, Munei, Anzi Joshua tarisa around us. And then we discovered, Kuti, we don't have anything. We don't have anything. We have nothing. So why suffer? They don't have anything. But yet they are busy protecting these thieves. They are not even gaining anything. They are not even given anything. Hanzi munei, hanzi tarwadziwa isusu tabvunzwa nevanhu veCCC kuti zvamuri kudaro munei. Hanzi tikatarisa tikaona kuti zveshua hatina chinhu chatinacho. Ivo vachiguta. The youth, ZANU-PF youth that are not benefiting, they should stand up. You should stop supporting government chisingakubatsiri chinhu. Same as CCC. If CCC gets into power, chief, and they start neglecting the people, we are not going to stop talking. We are going to continue talking. We are going to expose those that are corrupt even in the CCC. We want to create a new governance, a new culture, where isina chipomerwa, chief. You know, so that we move forward. We've suffered for a long time. Zimbabwe is very rich. In 5 years' time, if you get a good leadership, everything will get into place. Imagine, Kuti, a hospital, refurbishing a hospital and putting everything, the machines, everything. We only need 30 million. And the chief 100 million to refurbish my hospitals, Mangani, a week. We should be refurbishing 3 hospitals a week, a week, and then a month. So per year, hospitals mangani, we could have built a new hospital. You know, I loved at Mtuli when they opened a clinic in Cowdrey Park, and a 30-bed clinic. And you know, Cowdrey Park, the population of Cowdrey Park is 75,000. The Cowdrey Park alone, the population is 75,000. 75,000. And you build a clinic with 30 beds, and then you say that you have done something. You want to put into an internet in a suburb that has got no electricity. Most of the houses have not been electrified. People are failing to electrify their houses because they built their houses on their own. They are failing to put electricity in Cowdrey Park. And you go there, you say, look, it's right internet. Even if Chero Wanga ine magets actually in a week, maybe 1 full day, that's when they get electricity. Because magets actually anoenda vakarara, anodzoka vakarara, achienda vakarara, achidzoka. Saka internet yacho unoishandisa nguva. You know, but what I like about people of Bulawayo is they are not stupid. Muchaona kuti Mtuli acharakashwa sei kuBulawayo. That much I can guarantee you. Acharakashwa zvazvo kuti aambofe akada kupinda muelection futi Mtuli.
Wow.
Stupid.
Wow, you ladies, I need to bring you back for a 2-hour show. 1 hour is not enough for you. Barbara achitaura Chindevere, Michael achitaura Chimanyika, Chief achitaura Chizezuru. Yeah, then tosangana ipapo. But Thank you so much. But I'll give you a chance to round up, Michael. Say your last words, and then Barbara, and then we call it a day.
I don't have any last words. I'm
Okay,
tired,
so
Chief.
Michael, you can round up.
Yeah, I just want to encourage Zimbabweans. You know, we can't just talk about the negative without putting in encouragement. They say encouragement is God's favorite tool. So to encourage Zimbabweans, I am asking everyone to read that chapter of Acts. We see a people who had resigned after Jesus is killed. People had resigned to say, Zwapera, let's go back to go fishing. But God comes to the same people and says to Peter and John, and God says, do you love me? You know, let's hear God telling us, Zimbabweans, do you love me? When we saw Moses moving people out of Egypt, it didn't take God coming down to take them out of Egypt. It took a woman to be brave. Kuti, I'm not letting my son die. That legacy is adopted by the son, and he says, when God now asks for someone to lead his children out of Israel, out of Egypt, he knows it is possible because he has heard the story of his mother. He has killed an Egyptian because they were laughing about his mother's tribe. So these people, these actions, little actions that we do will give us strength. So this time, as we are looking at this gold mafia thing, let's also take courage, you know, from God coming to us saying, Zimbabweans, do you love me? And let's grab a hold of the Holy Spirit or whatever power is in us. Faith, we need hope, we need encouragement, all the positive things. Let's take them and go and stand and say, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough for Zimbabweans. And you know, because it's also happening next door in Africa, it's also happening to each other country. These people are watching us and they will also be strengthened. Isusu pa Zambia apa next door. They won election, there was an opposition. They were fighting to get into power, and they did it. We have encouragement, and those political leaders in Zambia, some of them are supporting us. Let's take advantage of that. South Africa country, because they know we have something blessed in our country. The only problem is the lack of boldness, the lack of faith, the lack of strength to say, you know what, takambotyisidzirwa tikashudwa tikaitwa sei. But iye Mnangagwa ari kutora boldness kuti amire achititi saka munechi ivo vese ava vakuda kudzoka ana Hubert Angels want to go back to the pulpit because they are using boldness, the same boldness. They have faith in themselves. They have faith with action. So they take that faith with action and they turn it into success, but for the evil. Isusu, if we take faith and turn it into action, but with God's blessing, we will be victorious, Zimbabweans. We will be victorious. So let us put our faith into action. That's what I want to encourage. Let's read the chapter of Acts and hear God giving boldness to Peter, God giving boldness to John as they were asking for, faced with someone asking for gold and silver. We are here asking for our gold to put into our hospitals, to put into our roads, to put into our country, to put into jobs for our young people, to take drugs out of our country. That gold we are asking for, we can get it through boldness. Let us stand with boldness and get what belongs to us. God is waiting for each one of us to have boldness and stand and refuse. Refuse for that bag of fertilizer. You don't need a bag of fertilizer. Kuti uvoterwe 5 years uchitorerwa gold just because uri kuda bag refertilizer. Come on, man. My chiefs, you do not need to nyembe tuya kusina nebasa rese, yet kana wakuya uzotora diamond in your area. You can't open up your mouth. Mahure enyu achinyimwa even mari yacho ye diamond. but muchishaya ka boldness kari kudiwa kuti mu protect your people. Be bold and protect your people, and in turn God will reward you for that good boldness. We need good to come into our country, and it can be brought only if we all tend to do good. That's what I wanted to say.
Powerful. We'll bring you back here, my colleague, because we need people who speak out like you, so that we keep encouraging each other. Zimbabweans, the key words that I took from our guest speaker, my colleague here, boldness. Let's be bold in defending our nation, in defending our heritage, and our future as well. Also that we need to begin to do something about our country. Let's not wait for other countries. Let's not wait for anyone. There's no one who is going to come and help us. We need to help ourselves. And I can tell you, Zambia will come in and help us if we start something. South Africa will do the same. America will do the same. But don't expect the Americans to come and fight the battle for you. They can come and help you. They can come and defend us when we are being attacked. But we need to start something ourselves as Zimbabweans. So tonight we're just discussing episode 4 of Al Jazeera, and people are angry in the streets. Let's not just get angry and not do anything. Let's get angry and begin to do something about what is going on. We'll continue this program on other days, and tomorrow we'll be discussing the demonstrations that are going on all over the world, and we need you to attend those demonstrations. There is no excuse. If you're in UK, if you're in North America, if you're in Europe, please take a day off, just one day off. Numbers matter. We want to see many Zimbabweans there. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow. But as of now, thank you everyone who has been here. Leo behind the scenes, my sister Barbara, thank you. Michaeli, we appreciate you for being here. Zimbabweans, God bless you. Good night, good evening, good morning, depending on where you are.
Thank you.
Ulilima vapfuma vekubvinga vapfuma ukwekwe vapfuma ukokwe vapfuma zengeza vapfuma mukomba vapfuma kuti chamisa imari achatotungamira Zimbabwe kundizo vapfuma kwamutoko vapfuma kariba vapfuma umula vapfuma usaka vapfuma bikita vapfuma kuti chamisa imari achatotungamira Zimbabwe. Vashandi vese vapfuma kuti chamisa imari achatotungamira Zimbabwe. Dare tagara diaspora yapfuma kuti chamisa imari achatotungamira Zimbabwe. Dare tagara mundorose nyika inopfuma kuti chamisa imari achatotungamira Zimbabwe. Dare tagara ndirozi dzekudenga dzapfuma kuti chamisa imari achatotungamira Zimbabwe.